Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 37 of Project Ozone 3. In between episodes, I completed Galacticraft, or at least the things that the mod pack wanted me to complete for Galacticraft. Starting with this pressure chamber. This pressure chamber is 5x5, the 3x3 interior, and all I had to do was just drop some materials in there, and then close up the pressure chamber, and things would be created. There are some input-output and some input-output interfaces here that I did have placed, but they weren't operating the way that I wanted them to, and I didn't feel like figuring it out. So I was just breaking it, throwing the stuff in, and I have more than enough pressure to make up for that stuff. So yeah, I wasn't using any of the pressure interfaces. I also made these advanced liquid compressors to replace my regular liquid compressors after I finally made the advanced pressure tubes, but the advanced liquid compressors add heat to the equation, and it would have required a longer time with setup than I wanted to go through. So I'm just using these standard liquid compressors with the advanced pressure tubes, and then I have speed upgrades and volume upgrades and pretty much everything to cover my pressure needs, and it's working great so far. So yeah, I'm not going to use the advanced pressure stuff. I'll just stick with the standard liquid compressors. The only thing that I used this assembly controller for was just to make these advanced pressure tubes. Looking at the recipes for all of this, it wasn't really worth it. So pressure chamber valves I could just make. Red dye I'm not worried about. The unassembled PCBs, yeah, I could do that. The standard recipe is just throwing them inside etching acid. So yeah, I suppose that's it too. The way that this works is if you supply pressure to the assembly controller and then place something in like an input chest over here, then this input will put everything on the assembly platform, the drills and laser will do their thing, and this will deposit it in this chest. Simple stuff. In fact, why don't we just do that right here? So I have 24 empty PCBs left. Let's throw them in and see this thing at work. See, it sensed that the PCB was in there. Oh, another thing, with all of the pressure going on, this area is a little bit laggy, so I'm going to turn off the pressurizers after I'm done with this. But yeah, see that? It just finished doing its thing and deposits right into the output chest. Boom. Easy stuff. And it's better than waiting the 3 minutes it takes when throwing them in etching acid. Also, let's take one of these. Before you make the assembly controller, the way that you had to do this was you could just throw that into the etching acid, and it has a chance to actually make the PCB you want, but it's a 100% chance if you just throw it in here, this UV light box, and you see that etched success chance, and it's about to hit 100%, and now when you throw it in the etching acid, it will always become the unassembled PCB. But yeah, that's Galacticraft. That's what I did with it. Oh, I also, with my creative fluid tank, in order to do all of this, it was a lot of plastic. So I have my creative fluid tank just throwing plastic in here, and anytime I want, just making the plastic. So before I do anything today, there are two things I want to create. Mainly this creative generator from Overloaded, which none of this was terribly difficult to make once you finish Galacticraft. These advanced PCBs just require printed circuit boards, and this is all made with the pressure chamber, and this I just showed you how to make. But with the creative generator, the hardest thing to make are these mechanism ultimate induction providers. The reason for that being is the ultimate induction providers require ultimate energy cubes and 4 elite induction providers, so I need to make 4 of those, and the elite induction providers also require the energy cubes. So it was a lot of these energy tablets, and it was a lot of just these energy cubes don't stack. It was my inventory was a mess for quite a while, but I managed to create the 4 induction providers. So here is the creative generator. Awesome. Another thing I wanted to create is I'm going to use a little bit more of my creative essence, and I need to make more soon. Another thing I wanted to create was the creative energy cell. Boom. So now that I have the creative energy cell and the creative generator, I can come over here, finally take this off so it's not sucking my power. And I'll just place it right here. So now I have my ME system constantly powered at all times. Very happy with that. And this creative generator is 100% power all the time. It's great to have, especially for the mod that we're going to be getting into today, Galacticraft. The first thing that we're going to have to create for Galacticraft is this circuit fabricator. And what this does is it takes silicon and it will turn it into stuff that we can actually use, mainly wafers. I'm going to place the creative generator down here and complete the quest because it'll give me the standard wrench. Standard wrench will allow me to actually configure the sides of the Galacticraft machines. Oh, I guess it will not. It only allows me to rotate it, which is super silly. In any case, if I tried to connect this aluminum wire to the circuit fabricator on this side, you see it doesn't go because it wants that little green port right there. And yeah, I got energy flowing in, no problem. So let's get rid of that. And my silicon. Let's look at the recipes required for this. Alright, basic wafer. So 2 pieces of silicon and 1 diamond with some redstone and a redstone torch. Wow, that is needlessly complicated. Alright, so let's grab a diamond. Let's go away. Boom, alright. Redstone torches, redstone, diamonds. Let's place it all in there. And then this redstone torch. So we got the progress going. Ugh, that is super slow. There we go, basic wafers. Basic wafers, I have no idea how much I'm going to need, but looks like it's going to be a lot. So I'm going to keep this going. Oh, and it uses the redstone torch every time. Cool. The next thing we're going to create is this compressor right here. So we'll take that out. It does... Doesn't look like it takes any sort of electricity, but the electric compressor does. So we're just going to immediately compress sheet. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Advanced wafers. Require repeaters. Great. Alright, this is going to be super complicated. In order to make the next machine, throw in some coal and then throw in 2 types of ingots, and it's going to go do its thing and make me some sheets. It's not going to make me plates. They're actually called sheets in this mod. So, yeah. Oh, they're called compressed aluminum. In any case, I need to do this with steel and aluminum because the next item that we're going to have to create is a oxygen collector. Oxygen collector requires compressed steel, compressed aluminum, this oxygen concentrator, which is tin and steel, this oxygen vent, tin and steel. Yeah, it's a process. I have the wafers already and compressed steel. So I need to make quite a bit of compressed steel, compressed aluminum, and compressed tin. So how many tin ingots do I have? But I'm going to let this go. I'm going to grab these 2 stacks and let the compressor go. I'm also, actually, you know what? I'm going to create a couple of these just so I can have a lot of stuff going at the same time. Boom. Anvil and compressor. Block of coal. Place it in there, and let's get the tin going. Alright, finally have enough stuff to make the oxygen collector. Let's throw this down. And as you can see, I made another compressor just so I can have the steel, tin, and aluminum going at the same time. And do I still have my aluminum wires? No, I do not. So, boop, boop, boop. And once again, it's not connecting, so I have my trusty wrench rotate until it does. Cool. You see the little particle showing you that it is in fact collecting. So oxygen stored, 6,000. Let's make a tank for this. Oh, never mind. We're not going to make a tank. We're going to make an oxygen compressor next. So, oxygen compressor, which is going to require compressed bronze. Fantastic. Other than that, we have everything we need. So just got done making these heavy oxygen tanks, and I also made the oxygen compressor and hooked it up with these ender fluid conduits because otherwise these things are really weird and I can only attach it via one side. So the ender fluid conduits are capable of moving gases over things. So I had the oxygen go into the oxygen compressor, throw in this heavy tank, and the heavy tank starts getting full. I'm going to do this twice with both of these tanks, but if you look at the oxygen tanks in Galacticraft, there's quite a few of them. So I made the heavy oxygen tank, and it also looks like this one is also a heavy oxygen tank, although it's just black instead of red. Then you have medium, light, very heavy, extremely heavy, and yeah, just a lot of tanks. The quest wanted me to make heavy ones, so that's why I made heavy. And then the next tank is the next block is going to have to be this oxygen storage module. Large amounts of oxygen for later use. So let's make that up. Oh boy, I'm going to have to create more tanks for this. So let's just make a bunch of tin canisters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oxygen storage. Done. Ugh. Where is its power? Oh, I guess it doesn't take power. Okay. Alright, something's definitely screwy here. Oh, that's a red slot. Okay. Now this should work. There we go. Alright. So it's just like any other machine. If you have a red or orange side, then that's going to be an output. And a blue or green is going to be an input. So, have plenty of oxygen being stored. That quest is complete. On to the next one. Before we make the electric compressor, the first thing we have to do is we have to make these advanced wafers. So the recipe is exactly the same as before, only instead of using redstone torch, you're using redstone repeater. And the process is just the same as well. You have to wait a little bit, it'll make your advanced wafer, and once you have those, you can make the electric compressor. Electric compressor recipe is just like this. You can either use the compressed bronze and an anvil, or you can just use compressed tin and a compressor. Since I have 3 compressors, this is the recipe I am going to go with. So, 2 advanced wafers. Throw that puppy in, and booyah, 2 compressors. Place them down right here, and make sure that they're properly connected. There we go. It's unfortunate that it only has one side. It really is, because I like having the little icon of what it does on the front. Yeah, that's real unfortunate. What I decided to do is just stack both compressors on top of each other and put the power on the side as intended. But once again, it's just frustrating that I have the icon for the machine on the front of the wafer, and power is going in on the back, and then on the front here, but on the left, right here. It's inconsistent, and I don't like it. Alright, let's make this refinery next. So copper canisters, regular stone, compressed steel, and furnace, which I'm not even sure I have a lot of furnaces. But refinery. Awesome. So we place this puppy down, and are you kidding me? Power's on the top? Oh my stars. Is there any other side of this that can be power? Nope. Fantastic. Alright, well, it looks like I also have more sides as well for fluid input and output. Oh, this is frustrating. So, alright, I'm going to have to put power in on the top, and then input is over here, and what does it want for input? It wants oil, just regular oil, and it will output rocket fuel. Alright, lucky for me, I don't need to use this very much because I have creative tanks. It's exactly why I wanted to make creative tanks prior to starting this episode. So I have a bucket of oil over here. Do I have my... Good. So I have a creative fluid tank filled with oil already. And then, boom. Let's get some fluid conduits, set this puppy up. Alright, it has the oil it needs. I just need to provide it with power. So I can use batteries as well. And put this in my... Wow, it's not charging up even though it's in my... This is the first item that has never charged with RF while being in my inventory. Oh well, we'll go charge this up and then I'm going to make my rocket fuel. Well, unfortunately that's not going to work. This battery that I created cannot be charged by anything except for this energy storage module, which of course requires batteries. So, make that real quick. Place it down. Let's see where the input side is. Alright, input's right there. And once this charges up, throw the battery in, and then the battery will start to charge. Alright, now that I have this battery, don't need this very much. Just enough to create a little bit of fuel. Oh, gonna need more. Gonna need more than that. Alright. Can't make the atomic battery. I can't make an upgraded version of the battery until I get Galacticraft titanium. So that idea's bust. I just hooked up aluminum wire to it. Oh, and I upgraded my wire to heavy aluminum. And heavy aluminum is whatever. It was easy enough to make. Just need this solar panel, this solar module, and the solar wafer is made in the fabricator with lapis instead of the redstone torch or the repeater. No problem. Well, we got the heavy aluminum wire, and I threw it in my transmutation tablet just for ease of use later on. Wow, this is taking a while. Alright, well, once I have at least one bucket of this fuel and it's in my creative fluid tank, I'll come back to you. That was simple. When I had the ender fluid conduit attached, it wasn't actually pushing anything to the tank. So I just took the creative fluid tank, put it in this slot, this output slot, and now I have infinite amounts of rocket fuel. No problem. Stop refining, and then I'm not gonna need this block for a while. I don't even know what other fluids I need for Galacticraft. But now that I have that, I can move on to my NASA workbench. Alright, next up is the fuel loader. And the fuel loader is, I actually shouldn't be placing it down in here. But the fuel loader is going to help me load fuel into my rocket. So all I have to do is just put the infinity tank here and, yeah, fuel constantly, all the time. And then power it up later. But the fuel loader is not going to do me any good without a launch pad. Launch pad. Where's the tier 1 launch pad? There it is. So blocks of iron and compressed iron. Oh, I have not made any compressed iron. Here we go. I have made compressed iron. I don't think I mentioned it before, but with the electric compressor, instead of just doing one at a time, it actually makes 2 of the plates. So it's just doubly fast. You can still only do 1 recipe inside it, but that's fine. All I have to do is make that launch pad. Rocket launch pad. 9 of them. Launch pads will allow placement of rockets if set up in a 3x3 square, which is why it's giving me 9. Fuel loaders, cargo loaders, and launch controllers can be attached. So let's make these and go find a place to set up my rocket. So I've placed it right here temporarily, and in between episodes I'm going to have to extend onto the factory to make some sort of Galacticraft platform. Regardless, I've placed it right here out in the open, and I have attached the fuel loader to it. And the fuel loader is loading, with the creative generator moved out here. The next thing I gotta create is the NASA workbench. So NASA workbench is very easy to make. It's just compressed steel and advanced wafers is the hardest part of it. Once you have the NASA workbench, you can get started. Oh man, that is so cool looking. You can get started making all of your... There we go. Get started making all of your rockets. Mainly the tier 1 rocket is what I have to work on. The tier 1 rocket is weird though. It requires something that I have never compressed before. So let's get going with it. So the tier 1 rocket, now that's the tier 2 rocket, but here we are, the tier 1 rocket. The tier 1 rocket requires these heavy duty plates, and the heavy duty plates are compressed steel, aluminum, and bronze inside the compressor. So I'm going to make a bunch of those, probably 2 stacks of it, because most of the... Each tier requires a better tier, and tier 2 requires the heavy-duty stuff. So let's get it made, and then get making our rocket. So I've made heavy-duty plates, more than enough, I believe, at this point. So gonna make a nose cone, all that good stuff. I saved the tier 1 rocket. Nose cone, just requires a redstone torch, easy peasy. The rocket fins. Compressed steel, heavy-duty plates, also easy. Alright, 4 fins and 1 nose. And then finally, the complicated part, which is the tier 1 rocket engine, which requires these canisters, which I have, flint and steel, and buttons. Actually, not as bad as I thought it would be. Here we go, tier 1 rocket engine. The rocket engine becomes progressively more difficult as the as time goes on. Oh, and I didn't go over, but if you want to add schematics and you find schematics on each of the planets, then all you have to do is throw it in here, unlock it, and it will become available, and you can just next right to it. But heavy-duty plates, the engine, the nose cone, and the rocket fins, and I have a tier 1 rocket. Look at me carrying it around. Well, I'm going to place it right here on the rocket pad, and look at that. Nope, 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 nope. Oh, that was very close. So I want to actually take a look at this thing. Oh, I don't have what my fuel is keybound, of course. So I'm going to go through my keybinds. I'm going to go over my keybinds, get this thing filled with fuel, and then on to the next part. Before we head off into space, first thing that we're going to do is we're going to upgrade our Draconic to the multi-armor. And then we're finally going to upgrade into the Infinity armor. I'm not going to go into space and worry about my oxygen levels or stuff like that. I am just going to have some fun. Oh, I should probably throw these crystalline ingots away, and I don't believe I need diamond lettuce. So I don't think, yeah, shoot, I need infinity catalyst, so I'm going to have to make those. Oh, that doesn't require it. Infinity chest plate. Infinity legs require it, and the boots do not. So I'm going to go make a couple more infinity catalysts to upgrade. Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. Whew! Here we go, moment of truth. Infinity helmet and infinity leggings. Awesome. Wait a minute, what? Oh, okay, I was using infinity catalyst, not ultimate singularities. So I have the infinity armor. Bully! For those who have never seen the infinity armor in action, which I highly doubt, I rocket around like nobody's business, and when I'm flying, I also rocket around like it's nobody's business. So, and that's because of the boots, honestly, which give you Sanic speed. Without the boots, you go normal speed. So I actually intend to still keep using my stellar helmet and stellar boots for the most part, and really only I want the infinity stuff for when I'm fighting the Chaos Dragon, which is pretty much necessary at this point. Oh, forgot about the boots. So I'm going to put all this stuff away, and actually, you know what? I may as well, while I'm here, I'm going to make the infinity tools. I already put them over here in the hotbar, intending to make them later, but I have all the materials out right now, and there's no reason why I can't just make it now. Alright, starting with Nature's Ruin. Boom. Sword of the Cosmos. Oh, what am I missing? Crystal Matrix ingots? Oh, that's no issue. I needed those to make the infinity catalysts. Sword of the Cosmos. Boom. And I am still going to use the epiology because of the looting that it has on it. Sword of the Cosmos just kills everything in one hit. Epiology will still give me loot. The Hoe of Green Earth, which I probably won't use all that often. The World Breaker. And the Planet Eater. And I'm missing a Infinity Block. Planet Eater. Boom. Alright, I have all the Infinity stuff. Wow. That's, I believe, probably a lot sooner than I should have gotten it, but, oh man, that's so great. Look how zippy I am. Alright, so now I'm going to show off what each of the Infinity tools can do. So Nature's Ruin is just like any other axe, but whenever you use it, it chops down everything, and any leaves that are connected, it will also go for. So yeah, it will literally clear out a, like a roofed forest in vanilla. It will easily clear that out, no problem. Yeah. It also has amazing range. The Planet Eater is just a really fast shovel. A very fast shovel. And then the World Breaker also acts as a shovel. It can clear anything very quickly. And it also can mine anything very quickly. And it has Fortune 10 on it. So yeah, I just got 2 stacks of coal. No problem whatsoever. The best thing about this pickaxe, though, is if you shift right-click, it becomes a hammer. And when it becomes a hammer, it just took out this entire chunk of land. It gave me something called a matter cluster. The matter cluster this is everything that's inside this matter cluster right now. So flint, iron ore times 19, sulfur times 1, all of that is inside this matter cluster. And in order to open it, just put it in your hotbar and right click. And everything just tried to go into my inventory, and obviously didn't succeed. So I'm just going to plop everything into my ME system. All right. And so say you did create a matter cluster, and I'm just going to create one again. So this is not a full matter cluster right now. It has 581 items out of 4096. I can keep going. 2502. It's not going to give you a new matter cluster until you have all of the items inside it. And so now that it's full, it has that little cyan ring around it, and it gave me a new matter cluster. So that's how the matter clusters work, and it's easy for getting a bunch of items all at once. And this is what I'm going to use on the moon. So now that I have all of the infinity stuff, I am finally ready to go. Wait, mobs are moving? So I've gotten, throughout this entire series, I've gotten a number of comments asking how I kept mobs from moving. And the truth is, I did nothing. The mobs just never moved. They always stayed in place. And I guess the latest update of the pack has them move again. Whatever bug was keeping them from moving is been fixed. Huh, so I have mobs that move now. I digress. I am ready to head to the moon, and that is going to be my destination. So, space, launch, turn left, right, up, down, inventory, fuel. So I am 100% stocked on fuel, and if I hit numpad 7 for me, and go to overworld, moon. Oh, this is so much different than, oh well, exit. I am going to launch. I don't have a parachute. If I press launch again, there's no going back. Alright, I am going to launch. And in the next episode, I'm going to explore everything. I am going to end this episode here. So in between episodes, I'll build a rocket. Actually, in between episodes, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to go immediately into exploring. But I am Kelly Engineering. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.